Good. Okay, so what's going on, everybody? So we're going to talk about losing body fat and building muscle. And I'm also going to be answering some questions today, and I'm going to show you guys how to actually build out a meal plan for yourselves. So to start this thing off today, I want to go over my story, right? So if we look here I was 225, and then I was able to lose 30 pounds and get down to 195 in 2.5 months. So this is how I did this, and then you might be able to copy what I did, and hopefully it helps you as well too. So when I'm thinking about how to lose body fat quickly and build muscle, there are three things that we want to do, right? So we want to make sure that we're following a meal plan, we want to make sure we're doing some cardio, and we want to make sure that we are following a weightlifting routine so that we can build some muscle as we're losing the body fat. So if I wanted to lose body fat as quickly as possible, my meal plan would be very simple. I'd eat 3 meals a day. Each meal would be a meat and some vegetables. So I might eat chicken breasts. Pretty much I just eat like meat and veggies. So it could be chicken breasts and veggies, or chicken thighs and veggies, or ground beef with vegetables. That's what I would eat for every meal. It'd be a meat or some type of protein source. Could be eggs and veggies, or fish and veggies. And like occasionally, I would have a small serving of some carbs. Like right here, I have half a sweet potato. That would be my meal plan. And if I wanted a snack, I would snack on fruit. I'd keep it very simple because I know if I did that, I would lose body fat very quickly. That's the meal plan. When it comes to cardio, if I was very sedentary, I would do 60 minutes of cardio a day. And for my cardio, I'd keep it simple. I would just go walk outside, or I would walk on the treadmill with the little incline, or I would get on the Stairmaster. But I would do whatever I could handle for 60 minutes a day. And I wouldn't make it too difficult. I would just try to burn some extra calories. And the third thing I would do is lift weights. I'd be in the gym lifting weights at least 3 to 4 days a week. And by me doing all three of those things, following the meal plan, doing the cardio, and lifting weights 3 to 4 days a week, I'd be able to lose body fat and build muscle. And I would lose body fat very quickly. So those are the three things that we want to do if we want to lose body fat and build muscle. Cool? Now, let's move on. Let's see if we have any questions about that. Is a whole chicken okay? No. Yeah, I guess so. I am 220 pounds. I want to lose another 20 pounds over the next 4 months. What should my calorie deficit be? So I can't tell you specifically what your calorie deficit should be, but I do know this. If you want to lose 2 pounds a week, you need to eat 1,000 calories underneath your maintenance. So figure out what your maintenance is, and you're going to have that number, and then you just minus 1,000 calories from whatever your maintenance is. And that's how many calories you should eat every day if you want to lose 2 pounds a week. So first things first, you got to calculate what your calorie maintenance is. And if you go to Google right now and you type in calorie calculator, and you go to the one by calculator.net, you're going to plug in your age, height, weight, gender, and activity level. And then it will literally tell you how many calories your maintenance is. And it will tell you how many calories you need to eat in order to lose 1 pound a week or lose 2 pounds a week. So that's how you figure that out. Okay, now let's move on. Now let's see. These are three things that I'm doing recently to make body fat loss. These are three things I'm doing recently to make fat loss easier for myself personally. So the first thing is I am prioritizing eating solid food over protein shakes. For a few months, I was doing 2 protein shakes for my breakfast. But as I've gotten deeper into this cut and as I've been losing weight, so I dropped 22 pounds over the last few months. Like as I've been losing weight, like my appetite has been going up. So I've been feeling hungrier throughout the day. So I've decided instead of me having the shakes for breakfast, I am now eating whole food because whole food is going to be more filling. So instead of me having the 2 Premier Pro, hold on, let me get it. Let me get the 2 shakes. So look. Instead of me drinking 2 of these protein shakes for breakfast, I am now eating a 1.5 cups of egg whites with 2 eggs and 4 ounces of 96% lean ground beef and a side of vegetables. So it's just way more food and the calories are not even high. So it's like I'm getting very close to the same amount of calories. It's a little bit more, right? But the calories are still low, but me eating the plate of all of that food is way more filling than the 2 protein shakes. So I'm just way less hungrier during the day. So that is one thing I'm doing. Instead of doing shakes, I'm doing real food. And let's say sometimes late at night, if my protein is a little bit low, sometimes I'll do a little shake. Instead of doing the shake late at night, I'll make a small serving of some chicken breast with some broccoli later in the day. Because just like when you eat real food, you're just going to be more full. So if you struggle with feeling hungry while you're dieting, try to not consume liquid calories and try to eat whole foods. It's just going to be more filling. Okay. The second thing that I'm doing is I am staying away from like the sweets, like chips, cookies, ice cream, things like that. And I pretty much always do that. But even when it comes to like the protein bars and things like that, like I'm not even doing that as much anymore. Instead, I'm trying to get more real food in. So let's say if I'm craving something sweet, what I've been doing is just like making sure that I'm eating solid meals. So for example, yesterday, let's say I was craving cake and ice cream, right? Weird craving. I wouldn't do that. Instead, I would make a plate of some ground beef, a little bit of sweet potato, and some Brussels sprouts and eat real food first. This way, like I'm just gonna be less hungry. So that's the second thing. I'm staying away from the sweets a lot more, and I'm going for more like fruit and just like real food. I'm trying to do that like 95% of the time. Of course, here and there I'll have a little protein bar, have a little sweet treat, but I am trying to overall prioritize more whole food and like fruit. And then once again, like one of the benefits I've been seeing with that is like the less you snack on the sweets and things like that, like the less you crave it. So that's another thing. And then the third thing that I've been doing that makes it easier when it comes to dieting is I'm getting more sleep. So I run a business, and like for a while, there are days I've been getting like 4 hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep because I was like working so much. Now I am prioritizing getting in my 8 hours of sleep. Like I'm trying to that's a priority for me now. That even if I work a little bit less and other things are getting deprioritized, I'm making sure that I'm getting my sleep in. Because when I sleep, it helps me in all areas. Like one, I'm better. I make better decisions. I make better content. Like I'm just better when I think. And then also I don't crave sweets, and I'm not as hungry when I get more sleep. So that's another thing I've been doing. Just prioritizing my sleep, and I'm stronger in the gym. I do better with my cardio when I get more sleep. So that's another thing I've been doing. It's just been helping me with my recovery, my brain functions better, all of that good stuff. Cool. Yeah, so those are 3 things that I have been personally doing that have made just fat loss and building muscle just easier for me. And like I said, this is, the kind of results that I help people get. We want to drop 30 pounds in about 2.5 months, 3 months. Then these are just all good things that can help you do that. Okay. And I recently just dropped 22 pounds. I'm somebody, I work with a coach, and I will talk to you about that as well too. So like I have a fitness coach for myself, and I have a big fitness coaching program, but I still have a coach. And the reason why I have a coach is because I'll tell you the benefits or how it's benefited me. It's like the accountability, the accountability. It's like, it makes me make better decisions, even though I know what to do. Like I know all of the steps to take, but when you just have that extra pressure and you got to check in and send your photos in and send the weight in, it's just pressure. And I like to look at it like this. Imagine if you were going out to dinner with 10 of your friends and everybody there got burgers and fries and pizza, and you were the only one that ordered a salad. You would probably feel tempted to want to order like pizza and burgers or whatever. But imagine if all of your friends ordered salads with chicken breast or steak and asparagus. You would say, you know what? Let me not be the one who's eating unhealthy. So that's kind of like what having a coach and just having fit friends has done for me. It's just positive peer pressure. Just pressure that makes you want to do healthier things. Okay. Especially if you have like a lot of like bad influences around you, because I hear a lot of people say this to me. They say like, hey, my kids, they eat whatever they want. My parents, they eat whatever they want. Or my spouse, they eat whatever they want. If that's your reality, then you sometimes change. Well, not even sometimes. I believe that changing your environment is the best thing that you can do to help yourself just be healthier. Like 100%. The reason I lost, this is actually cool. The thing that motivated me to lose 100 pounds in only 6 months, a big part of that was that like all of my friends were fit. So I'm like, I'm not going to be the only one that does not have abs. I refuse because all my friends are fit. It's like, it pushed me. I felt motivated to do what I had to do to lose the weight so I could be fit too. So having fit people around you is a major hack, and it makes it so much easier. This is why joining gyms, going to like group classes, joining fitness communities, watching stuff like this where you hear somebody talking about fitness, it all helps. Okay. Now let's move on to the second part of today. I'm going to be sharing 7 fat loss habits with you guys. If you've been here before, then you've heard me talk about this. But if you're new, then you're going to learn something new. And if you have heard me say this before, you're going to hear it again. So I have my whiteboard right here. Let's see. Can we see that? Okay. Let's move this back. Okay, so right here, I have a list of 7 daily habits or 7 rules that I like to follow every single day. If I wanted to lose weight, these are 7 habits that I like to live by. So habit number 1 is every time I'm making a plate of food, I have 5 to 9 ounces of protein on that plate. That's habit number 1. So what does that look like? Let's say, let me get a plate. Let's say I'm eating breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Every plate of food is going to have 5 to 9 ounces of protein with some veggies on the plate. Very simple. And when I say protein, what are protein examples? Protein examples could be chicken, steak, fish, shrimp, egg whites, eggs, whatever. It's going to have 5 to 9 ounces of protein on the plate and some vegetables. So if you're like, I want to lose weight and I don't know what to eat today, like don't eat pizza, don't get a burger and fries, get some chicken and some vegetables. If you're going to a restaurant, get some steak and some vegetables. Get a protein source and some vegetables. You don't even have to be super strict with it. Just get a meat and some vegetables. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, if you're going to be doing carbs, nothing wrong with that. So right here, I have a sweet potato. We want to do carbs in moderation. What does that look like? You can do a cup of rice, or let's say half a sweet potato or half a baked potato. We don't want to do like 5 cups of rice. We just want to do the carbs in moderation. So the rule is have like a cup of rice or half a cup of rice, moderation. Cool? So let's say we're making a plate. We have number 1, 5 to 9 ounces of protein and some veggies. And if we want to have some rice or some carbs, we just have a small serving of carbs. Cool? Number 3, if we want to snack, we snack on fruit. Or like that should be your first choice. Fruit, it could be Greek yogurt. Even if you're craving a Snickers bar right now, grab the fruit first. Like go for the healthy option first. Simple. Number 4, make sure you are doing 30 to 60 minutes of cardio every day. 30 to 60 minutes of cardio every day. That can be you walking on a walking pad. You can walk outside. You can get to the gym and get on the cardio machine. You can play pickleball. You can box. You can do jujitsu. You can jump rope. You can dance. You can do whatever you want for your cardio, but get in 30 to 60 minutes of cardio every day. That should be a non-negotiable, okay? 30 to 60 minutes of cardio. And if it's hard for you to fit it into your schedule, wake up early and do your cardio. This is going to help you burn more calories so that you drop body fat. Number 5, if you want to build muscle while you're losing weight, then you should be lifting weights at least 3 to 4 days a week. This is going to help you build your muscle so you look good when you lose the body fat. And prioritize this. This is important. You should be lifting weights 3 to 4 days a week. Cool? Yes, my fitness app is still available. Now, on my fitness app, the name of it is Better You, Better Society. It has workout programs, meal plans, and cardio guides, and it's free. Next, number 6, throw away the junk food. I just don't believe that if you're trying to stick to a diet, you don't need to have junk food in your house, especially if it's going to tempt you to eat it. That just does not make any sense to me. So my rule is like, personally, I would not have junk food in my house if I was trying to stick to a diet. I just wouldn't, because it's going to be hard. So if you right now, and you know this to be true, like you know for a fact, if you have a bag of Doritos, as soon as you get hungry, you're going to eat some. So just throw it away so you don't get tempted by it. Okay, like have some fruit instead. Anything that you know you should not have, just don't have it around you. And number 7, be consistent. You know, like you could, this is important too, because it's like sometimes like you might diet for a day or 2 days and then pat yourself on the back and then think that you deserve a cheat meal or a cheat day. No, you don't. Be consistent. You know, being consistent Monday through Friday is not good enough. You got to be consistent every day, because you can't, like, if you keep cheating on Saturday and Sunday, you're just shooting yourself in the foot, and you're going to just keep on delaying your progress. All right. And I know a lot of people, look, if that might be you, and be honest, if it is, do you do good Monday through Friday, but Friday night, Saturday and Sunday, you don't have any structure. And because of that, you've been staying stuck in the same position for the last few years. You got to be honest with yourself and say, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to follow my meal plan every single day, because it don't even take that long to see progress once you commit to the plan. It don't even take that long. Like on average, this is not even like extraordinary. People can lose 10 pounds a month. Like on average, you can lose 10 pounds a month. You know, like, so it's not even that, like, you can get it done. You just can't keep on sabotaging yourself. So those are 7 rules for fat loss that I have. Number 1, eat 5 to 9 ounces of a protein source with some veggies. That should be on every plate. Number 2, if you're going to have some carbs, have a small serving of carbs. Do that in moderation. Number 3, if you want to snack on fruit. Number 4, do 30 to 60 minutes of cardio every day. Number 5, lift weights 3 to 4 days a week. Number 6, throw away the junk food. And number 7, just be consistent. Keep on showing up again and again and again, and you're going to get there. And if you can live by those rules, you're going to lose body fat and build muscle. Cool. All right, now let's move on to the next topic today. Okay, so today I'm actually going to be cooking my meals for you. So the first thing we're going to make today is going to be my breakfast. So this is an example of a nice high protein breakfast. If you're trying to lose body fat, build muscle, this is going to be an excellent option for you. So I have my pan here. Let's turn this on. And for my breakfast today, I'm going to make 1 cup of egg whites, 2 eggs, and 4 ounces of 96% lean ground beef. Okay, let me get all the ingredients. I lost 50 pounds just by eating what you said. That is incredible. That is incredible. All right, let's see. Let's get these eggs, the egg whites. So I use liquid egg whites, and I have some regular eggs right here. And I have the ground beef that I made on live yesterday. After I make breakfast, I'm gonna actually cook up some chicken thighs too. So let's move this here so you guys can see all the ingredients for breakfast. I have my egg whites, my regular eggs, and the ground beef. Okay. I wanted to ask you, the last time I know you eat during an 8-hour window, when do you work out or lift weights? So normally I'll work out after I eat breakfast, but it really doesn't matter. Lately, my workouts, the times have been varying. All right, lately so I try to work out at 1:30 p.m. from 1:30 to 2:30, but lately I've been getting to the gym like at 5 p.m., 6 p.m. So it really doesn't matter, right? Lately I've just been trying to fit it in. And I only lift weights 3 times a week. So it's not like, it's like, I have to overthink it. Where I've done it all too when it comes to working out. Like I've worked out first thing in the morning, fasted, and I've worked out later in the day. It really makes no difference to me. I just try to make sure that I have enough energy when I get to the gym. I try the egg whites and it makes me gag. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the way you're preparing it. Oh, Spicy Latina, what's up? Hello, sir. I'm watching from South Africa. I just want to ask, is energy drink 0 sugar okay? Yes, it is. Is working out 3 times for 30 minutes a week okay? Yes, it is. What should I eat for breakfast? I have eggs toast. I don't even know what that is. You can copy what I'm doing right here for breakfast if you want something that's simple. Okay. So this is my breakfast today. I'm making 1 cup of egg whites. With 2 regular eggs. Going to add some seasoning to it. Now I'm also going to add 4 ounces of some, let's see, 96% lean ground beef. And I'm just going to make it as a big, like, scramble. So I have my food scale here to make sure that everything is accurate. All right. Can you guys see this? What seasonings do you use? I use, what is this? Kinders. I use any regular seasoning though. I don't ever overthink this. I'll just, like I said, we're going to make this into just like a big scramble. I love your videos. I appreciate that. Can I full cup of rice? Yeah, you can do a full cup of rice. Is popcorn okay for a snack in moderation? Someone mentioned in there that's their weakness. Yes, you can do popcorn as a snack. Yeah, popcorn is going to be fine. Should I use oil in my meal plan for hormones, balance, or maximize the low calories? You should add some oil in. You want to make sure that your fats don't go too low. So I try to make sure that bare minimum, I'm doing like 50 grams of fats a day. So if you're tracking everything, like if my fats are ever too low, this is one of the things that I'll do. I will add in a tablespoon of olive oil and cook with this. Okay? Yeah, so 1 tablespoon is 14 grams of fat. If you do that and you make sure, like let's say you add in some avocado, you're going to be A-okay. Let's make sure we. Is popcorn a good snack? Yes, popcorn is fine. But you want to do it in moderation though, and make sure it's not the popcorn that is like very oily. Okay, this is looking good. For people who don't know what I'm making my breakfast now. This is a cup of egg whites, 2 eggs, and 4 ounces of 96% lean ground beef. How many grams of protein is this breakfast? Let's see if somebody can calculate that. So this breakfast is 1 cup of egg whites, 2 regular eggs, and 4 ounces of cooked 96% lean ground beef. Let's see if somebody can calculate how many grams of protein is in this breakfast. All right, so breakfast is done. Here, let me show you what it looks like. Make sure you guys can see it. Can everybody see this? This is breakfast today. Yeah, show you one more time. Wasn't sure you could see it. Yeah, let me cover my face so that it focuses on that. All right, so that's breakfast. And you see, this is gonna be a lot of food, very filling. And I've been choosing this instead of doing the protein shakes just because this is gonna keep me fuller. So that is meal 1 for today. Now we're gonna make meal 2 and 3. Just wash this out. All right, so today I'm gonna be cooking chicken thighs next. Real quick, brother, what vitamins do you take? I take a basic multivitamin. All right, let's see, where are chicken thighs at? Did you just start this channel? No, this has been around for quite a while. All right, so let's make the chicken thighs next. All right. These are the chicken thighs right here. Let's see, how do I want to make this? 40 grams. I don't know if that was 40 grams. Let's see, so 1 cup of egg whites is 26 grams. The 2 eggs is 12. So let's do some math. 26 plus 2 is 28. So it's 38 grams with just the eggs alone. And let's see, 4 ounces. 4 ounces of cooked 96% lean ground beef protein. Okay, so 4 ounces is 24. So 38 plus 24. The 38 plus 2 is 12. So that's 42. 62 grams of protein. So 62 grams of protein. Certain, I'd have to double check because my math could have been off. But yeah, my breakfast is 62 grams of protein. Somebody just said, I heard multivitamins is a scam unless you are deficient in something. I mean, I don't, what's the worst that could happen? I think it's fine. My justification behind it is I probably am deficient in something. So just getting a little bit of extra, I don't see how that'll hurt you. All right, does that make sense? Let's see. Where these pans at? Okay, let's turn that heat up a little bit. Got the cooking spray. We're gonna spray the pan with it. Okay, let's do this. Cardio first or weightlifting? Do your weightlifting first. Do you do intermittent fasting? No, I don't. I just make sure that I'm following the meals that's in my meal plan. And I believe in just eating your meals when they're most convenient for you. So look, what I'm going to be making for myself for lunch and dinner today is going to be chicken thighs with sweet potato and mixed vegetables. So right now, I'm going to cook up the chicken thighs for today. The vegetables are just going to be frozen. We're going to microwave that. Now, with the chicken thighs that I'm making, I don't believe that I'm going to have enough for lunch and dinner. So what I'm going to do is have like the chicken thighs, and I'm going to add some ground beef to it as well too. So on the plate, it's going to be chicken thighs, ground beef, frozen veggies, and half a sweet potato with lunch and dinner. Now, if I wanted to be very strict, then I would say, you know what? Let's skip the sweet potato. We're just going to keep it to the protein and the veggies, but we don't have to be that strict today, me personally. So that's why I'm having the sweet potato with it. Now, when it comes to seasoning food, I don't overthink it. I just add whatever seasoning I feel like I might like. Better You Better Society. Thanks for keeping it so simple. I love it. I love it. Thank you. You're very welcome. Host, I am pinning the question so it's easier for you too. Thank you, Spicy Latina. I appreciate that. Okay, so this is ready. Let's just get the seasoning everywhere. Cardio first or lifting? You want to do your lifting first. All right, so when you get to the gym, do your weightlifting first and then do your cardio. So no warming up. You can warm up. So if you want to do like 5 to 10 minutes of some light cardio just to get some blood flow, you can do that. That's fine. But in terms of you doing like your full blown cardio session before you lift weights, I wouldn't do that. I would rather you just do like 5 to 10 minutes of cardio. Then you lift weights and then you end off with your cardio. And then also when you like warming up doesn't have to be cardio. Your warm-ups don't have to be cardio. The way that you want to warm up when you are like when you're about to lift weights is you want to look at whatever exercise you're going to do and you want to mimic that exercise. So if you're going to be doing squats, like the best warm-up is going to be you actually doing some squats. So just do squats with your body weight first, then get into like your squats with like a lighter weight and then work your way up to the weight that you're going to be working with. Hey Siri, set a timer for 4 minutes. Hey Siri, set a timer for 4 minutes. That's a good idea. I had past trainers always said you need to warm up with cardio always. Yeah, you don't have to. You can. Like me personally, I do, let's say, I'll do anywhere between like 3 and 10 minutes on a cardio machine to warm my body up. You just to kind of wake it up a little bit. But you don't have to do that. But I do it personally because I like how it feels. Now, what is going to be more important is making sure that you look at whatever exercise you're doing and you make sure that you actually mimic that movement. So if it's a day where I'm going to be doing squats, best believe I'm going to do quite a bit of body weight squats just to get my body primed for like squatting. If it's lunges, I'm going to do a lot of body weight lunges just to get my joints and everything warmed up. So I'll do a little bit of both. Where is my spatula? How many exercises per body part? It could be anywhere between 1 and 4 exercises. So if the body part that you're trying to target is legs, if you were to just do squats and you did 4 sets of that, that would be all you need. That could be enough. Now, if you were to do, let's say, 3 exercises, let's say you did squats, lunges, and leg press, that's also amazing. Or you could do 4, squats, lunges, leg press, and then hip thrust. So anywhere between 1 and 4, or even 1 and 5, it all works. The goal should be you want to get stronger. Let's say, and I've done this before personally, let's say the only exercise you do for your legs is squatting. And let's imagine today you can squat 100 pounds 10 times. But then next year, you can squat 300 pounds 10 times. By you just doing that one exercise, you've gotten stronger and you've built a lot of muscle. So you don't have to overthink that. Like between 1 and 4, 1 and 5 exercises is all you need per body part. How do you feel about wild rice being incorporated into the diet? Doesn't matter. Any type of rice is fine. What matters is how much of the rice you're eating with each meal. So there is no difference between, for fat loss purposes, between you eating 1 cup of regular rice, like white rice or brown rice, or 1 cup of wild rice. It's all going to be very similar in calories, like very similar. So I would rather you focus on using portion control rather than focusing on what type of rice you're eating. Oh, wow. The timer didn't even start. Let's give it 3 more minutes. How much cooked rice is a serving? You can do either a half a cup of rice or 1 cup of cooked rice. Are you a personal trainer? I used to be. My first time watching you from the UK. I'm enjoying it. Thanks. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Did you take the skin off the chicken thighs? Yeah, this is boneless, skinless, so I buy it like that. Quick question. Cardio is for losing weight, not weights. So cardio, yeah, you would do cardio to lose weight. Lifting weights is so that you build muscle while you lose weight. So, yeah. If anybody ever was to tell me, like in reality, right? If somebody was to say, if I told you I'm trying to lose weight, what a lot of trainers say, and I used to be a trainer, right? I was a trainer for years. What we used to say is things like, nah, if you're trying to lose weight, you need to make sure you're lifting weights. But you lift weights because, and we say that because we know that if you're losing weight, like you want to lift weights so that you keep your muscle while you're losing the weight. But if we're just saying like, how do I lose weight as quickly as possible? Diet and do a bunch of cardio and you will lose a lot of weight, but you'll also lose muscle. And we know that's not what you want. So that's why trainers will say, make sure you're lifting weights too. Okay. So in the perfect world, if you're trying to lose weight as fast as possible and you want to hold on to your muscle, your diet better be perfect and strict. You better be doing your cardio and you better be lifting weights. So it's all 3, diet, cardio, and weightlifting. They're all important. Do you find dumbbells are more effective than machines? No, they're all the same. Like you can build a lot of muscle using nothing but machines and you can build a lot of muscle using nothing but dumbbells. They're all the same. And if you're a beginner, it's better for you to use the machine because it's easier. I have a question. I want to lose weight. I want to lose 20 pounds in 1 month. How can I do that? You have to be very strict. So you have to start doing a lot of cardio. So I'd recommend you start doing 2 hours of cardio every day. And your diet has to be very, very strict. If you're eating 3 meals a day, each of those meals, you should only be eating meat and vegetables. And if you want to snack, you can snack on fruit. That's what you would have to do if you wanted to lose 20 pounds in a month. And I'm not, and mind you, for everyone listening, I'm not saying that that is ideal. I'm just answering a question. If you want to lose 20 pounds in a month, that means you got to be losing 5 pounds a week. You're going to have to be in a huge calorie deficit. The only way for you to get that done is to be burning a lot of calories, hence the 2 hours of cardio every day, and be eating very little calories, hence me saying just eat meat, vegetables, and fruit. You have to be in a 2,000 calorie deficit. So that's the only way you could realistically get that done. Look, I'll tell you guys, I'm getting better and better and better at this cooking thing. Like every time I do it, it looks a little bit better and better. I'm craving a piece of sourdough bread. Can I have a piece? Yes, you can. Whenever you're sticking to your diet, if you're craving something like bread, have a little piece of bread to satisfy that craving. You don't want to overindulge, but have a little bit to satisfy the craving. Even me right now, like if I'm craving ice cream really strongly, I'm going to have a small serving of some ice cream. So look, this right here, this is a brand of ice cream called Nick's. It's low in calories. If I'm really craving ice cream, I would rather have a small serving of some low calorie ice cream than to just not have any ice cream at all, because this kind of takes the edge off of the craving a little bit. But remember, we are using portion control. So the same thing, if you're craving bread, just have a little bit of it. Don't overdo it. Just have a little bit so that you don't feel like you are struggling in a prison. Is sugar-free soda good? Yes, it is. What weights can I use at home for legs? So the weights that you can use at home for your legs is going to be dumbbells. You can get 2 pairs of dumbbells and you can do these exercises. The first exercise that you can do is dumbbell squats. So you get into your squat stance, you hold the dumbbells here, and then you squat down. And you can do 4 sets of 10 to 20 squats just like that. The next exercise you can do is something called split squats. So you get into like a lunge position, you hold the dumbbells here, and then you just go all the way down, let that back knee touch the ground, and you can do 10 to 20 split squats on each leg. And the final exercise could be dumbbell glute bridges, where you take the 2 dumbbells, you place it on your hips, you get into the glute bridge position, and then you do 20 glute bridges, and you can do 4 sets of that. So those are 3 lower body exercises that you can do using 2 dumbbells at home. Are you in America? Yes. What do you think about protein overnight oats? That can be fine. And the way that you would make your overnight oats, if you want it to be higher in protein, is you make it the regular way by using a half a cup of the dry oats, but make sure you add in 1 or 2 scoops of some protein powder, and then you can add in your frozen berries, etc. That's how you would make your overnight oats if you want the protein to be higher. I'm trying to find a good meal plan that is sustainable to help me get started. Any recommendations? Yes. So this is a good starter meal plan. For your breakfast, you can have 2 of these protein shakes. For your lunch and your dinner, on your plate, you want to have a meat of some sort, like chicken thighs. You want to have some vegetables, and you want to have 1 cup of rice or a half a cup of rice. So for your breakfast, it's the 2 shakes. For your lunch and your dinner, it's the chicken thighs, the veggies, and a half a cup or 1 cup of the rice. And as a snack, you can snack on fruit. That is a good starter meal plan that'll help you start losing body fat, especially if you're a beginner. Can I take cottage cheese with fruit before going to the gym? Yes, you can. How do I figure out how much protein, carbs, and fiber I need each day? You need to figure out what your calorie goal is. That's the first step. Figure out how many calories you need to eat, and then you figure out how many grams of protein you need. So write down calories, and then you figure out what your calorie goal for the day is. Then you write down protein. For your protein, you want to eat 1 gram of protein for every pound that you want to weigh. Now, when you start filling in high protein foods to reach your protein goal, you're going to see that it takes up calories, right? Like, because even if you plug in protein shakes, yes, this is 60 grams of protein, but it also has some calories as well too. Once you fill in all the protein that you need, then you'll see, okay, I have X amount of calories left, and then you can just fill in the rest of those calories with your carbs and your fats. So I like to figure out the calories first, and then figure out how many grams of protein second, and then I like to figure out, like, okay, with the remaining calories that I have, how much do I want to be carbs? How much do I want to be fats? Okay, so that's how you figure it out. Does that make any sense? Like, do you understand what I just said? I know that that's a little bit more advanced, so let me know if you need clarification on anything. Should I still track calories if I'm eating fruit, veggies, and protein? Yes, you should. You don't have to, but you should. You should track your calories. That's just like somebody saying, like, hey, if I'm budgeting and I'm not spending a lot of money, should I still keep track of my spending? Of course. Yeah, the more you track calories, the more you track your weight, the better you're going to be. Like, the coaches on my team, like, they track their calories every day, weigh in every day. My clients, we track the calories every day. We track their weight every day. The more you track, the more in control you are, the better decisions you can make. I work the 3rd shift. Should I eat during my shift? You could if you want to. It doesn't matter. As long as you're following your meal plan, you eat the meals at whatever time best suits you. What's your opinion on what time frame you should eat each meal? Whatever time best suits you. So if you have 12 hours in a day, no, there's 24 hours in a day, and you have, then there are 3 meals that you can eat. Just pick whatever time is going to best fit you. That's it. You don't recommend eggs in the diet? Yes, I do. I actually have eggs in my breakfast right here. So look, this is my breakfast. It is 1 cup of egg whites, 2 eggs, and 4 ounces of 96% lean ground beef, all made in a big scramble. So yeah, I do recommend eggs. All right, the food is looking good. Give it one more flip. Let's see. You said fruits are a good source of snacks. Can I have any type of fruit? Yes, you can, but you want to do it in moderation. More specifically, tell me what type of fruit you want. Tell me what type of fruit you're thinking about eating, and then I'll give you an example of how you could have that in your meal plan. I'm 60 years old. I just need 8 pounds off. So you're 60 years old and you want to lose 8 pounds. Let's see. So what do you need help with? That's the question. Like, what do you need help with? Because I'm thinking, like, I could give you an example of a plan that you could follow to lose 8 pounds over this next month. Or if you want to lose 8 pounds over the next 2 months, just give me a little bit more information so I know kind of what I can help you out with. Watermelon, bananas, blueberries, strawberries mainly. Okay, so if it's watermelon or berries, you can pretty much eat a huge serving of that. You can eat as much of that stuff as you want. If it's going to be bananas, I would say have like 2 or 3 maximum, because each banana is going to be around 100 calories. Need help with meal preparation. Okay, so first and foremost, detail right now, like, do you have a meal plan? And if you don't have a meal plan, that's the first place we're going to start. And I can give you an example of a meal plan now. What's the name of the cooking spray? This is Chosen Foods Avocado Oil Spray. I need help with the meal plan. Okay. Why do we want to minimize carbohydrates so much? I don't know. Why do you want to minimize carbs so much? What is your take on 1 meal a day? My take on eating 1 meal a day is this. You could eat 1 meal a day, and that will help you lose body fat. But if you are going to be eating 1 meal a day, you want to make sure that your protein is not too low. So this is what I would do. If I'm eating 1 meal a day, it would look like this. It'd be 5 to 9 ounces of, let's say, some chicken thighs. I'd have some veggies and a small serving of rice, like half a cup of rice or a cup of rice. In addition to having that 1 meal a day, I would drink 2 protein shakes as well to make sure my protein doesn't go too low. That's what I would do if I was eating 1 meal a day and I still wanted to get in enough protein so I could lose body fat and maintain some muscle. Okay, I think this chicken is pretty much done. Just make sure. Oh yeah, that is crispy. Yeah, that is looking good. Let's see, got some ground beef here. Throw this in there just to warm it up. Do I marinate the chicken? No, I don't. You could though. Sometimes I do, but I didn't do it today. Woo! Ooh, that was hot. Yeah, that is done. I ain't messed with this no more. Oh man, you are done today. Hello, Denise. How are you? Somebody said, "What is that?" I don't know. That's all. This is ground beef. Just pop me right under the eye. So I have the ground beef. That is done. Now I'm going to warm up a big plate of some frozen veggies in the microwave. Now, sometimes people ask me like, are frozen veggies good? Yes, you can use frozen vegetables. All right, so this ground beef is done. Let's put that in a plate. Okay, so we have our ground beef, we have our chicken thighs. I've stuck to your advice, chicken and vegetables for 2 months. And now I'm 2 stone. I love it, I love it. I love it. Look, the diet works. All of this stuff works. It'll help you get lean, okay? So follow the meal plan advice. All right, guys? It definitely works. Let's see. Oh, we gotta clean this up a little bit. Hold on, let me fix that camera. All right, that should be a little bit better. Okay. Let's see. Should we go to the gym every day, or is 4 days enough? You should do your cardio every day, and you don't need to go to the gym to do your cardio. So that's number one. When it comes to strength training, you should strength train 3 to 4 days a week. You should not strength train every day. So hopefully that answers your question. I go every single day. Yeah, well, going to technically I go to the gym every day. Every morning I go and I do my cardio, but I only lift weights 3 days a week, sometimes 4. So, yeah. I have a few questions for you. Okay, you can ask them right there. Can we eat nuts? Yes, you can eat nuts, but you have to use portion control if you're going to be eating nuts. So, yeah, you don't want to eat too many or too much nuts. All right, so today we have our chicken thighs. We have our ground beef. Yeah, let's fix that up. Which nuts? They're all okay. They're okay. Already feel better with your meals. Love it. Can we eat carbs twice in a day like bread and rice? Yes, you can. Let's say you had your lunch. Let's say you had your breakfast and your dinner. And for breakfast, you had 2 slices of toast. That's fine. And then for your dinner, you had a cup of rice. That's fine. Okay, right here, I have the sweet potato. Let's drain this a little bit. So the frozen veggies. All right, so this is the carb that I'm going to be eating today. It's a full sweet potato. I'm going to have half of it with lunch and then half with dinner. There we go. Then this is also the breakfast plate. So I'm actually going to be like assembling a full day of eating right here so everybody can see it. My go-to meal is baked tilapia, broccoli, and a sweet potato. That's amazing. That's a good meal. Let me just zoom this camera out a little. Alrighty. Okay, so we have everything all laid out. Let's assemble our meals now. Okay, so what I have all laid out here, right? This is the chicken thighs that I just cooked. This is the ground beef that I cooked. It's 96% lean. This is the carb source that I made, and this is my breakfast. So this is a cup of egg whites, 2 eggs, and 4 ounces of ground beef, all in one plate. And this is the vegetables. So this right here, this is just gonna be breakfast straight. All right, this is breakfast. Cup of egg whites, 2 eggs, and the ground beef. Super high in protein. Now I'm gonna actually like put together the lunch and the dinner plate, okay? Now, before I even go on to that, right? When it comes to breakfast, the breakfast might be the meal where there's gonna be the most variety, right? But it doesn't have to be. Sometimes you can make the breakfast very simple, but for breakfast, you know, a lot of people like eggs, or most people don't like to eat the same thing that they eat for lunch and dinner for breakfast. Sometimes we like a little bit of variety. So breakfast is the only thing that could be a little tricky if you make it tricky. So for my breakfast, I'll tell you what I do. I'll drink either 2 of these shakes, right? If I want it to be quick, or what I've been doing lately, because I've been feeling kind of hungry, I've been eating solid food. So for breakfast, I've been doing a cup of egg whites, 2 eggs with 4 ounces of a meat. So this is what I eat for breakfast. It's either this or it's 2 of these protein shakes. And that's what I do like every day. It's either or. Now, when I'm making lunch and dinner, this is the rule that I like to follow. With lunch and dinner, I like to do 5 to 9 ounces of a protein source. That could be chicken thighs or the ground beef. I'll add some vegetables to that plate, and I'll add some carbs in moderation. Now, these are the measurements. For the protein, for men should do 8 to 9 or even 10 ounces of a cooked protein source for their lunch and dinner. The plate of food, right? Should be 10 ounces or 8, 9, or 10 ounces of the lean protein source. You can add as many vegetables as you want because it's very low in calories. And then finally, if you're going to be adding carbs, you want to do carbs in moderation. So I'm going to have like half a sweet potato. You could even have a full sweet potato, or I might have a half a cup of rice or a full cup of rice, but I'm not going to overdo it and do 2 full sweet potatoes with my lunch or do 3 cups of rice with my lunch. We do the carbs in moderation, especially if we are trying to lose body fat. This is how we structure the plate. So let me do it in real time for you. So I have my food scale here. We're going to weigh out the protein. Remember, we are doing like 9 or 10 ounces of protein. So first, I'm going to add chicken thighs. That is 4.5 ounces of chicken thighs. And let's add some ground beef. I can already tell this is not going to, this is not a lot of ground beef at all. Okay, this is 6.5 ounces of protein. So that's not enough for me. Now let's check and see what dinner is going to look like. Okay, this is like around, what is that? 7.7 ounces. You know what? That will have to do for this because I don't want to make this plate too small. So we're going to add the rest of the ground beef to our lunch plate. Okay. So lunch is looking good. This is 9 ounces of protein right here. So this is 9 ounces and this is 7.7 ounces. Yeah. So this is looking good for protein. I could always just sneak in another shake if I need to have more protein with it. Now let's add the veggies next. Like I said, when we're adding veggies to our plate, we can add as much as we want. Okay, how is this looking? Let's put this back on here. All right, this is looking pretty solid. And then we add our carbs in moderation. So let's look at what this is looking like. On the plate, we have, tilt it down so you can see it. We have the chicken thighs right here. We have the veggies right here. And we have half a sweet potato right here. This is how we want to structure our plate. Now, if you wanted to lose body fat faster, we would just take away the sweet potato or the carb and just have the meat with the veggies. All right, but we are not in a rush, so we're going to have those carbs in there. Now, let's fix this plate up. This is going to be dinner today. This is actually excellent. I'm really happy that the protein wasn't enough. So now I can explain to you why protein shakes can be so beneficial. So everyone here knows that, like, or do you know, you might not know, but a protein shake is a supplement. Now, when we think of the word supplement, right, that means we want to supplement our diet with it. Okay. So with this plate of food, this is only 7.7, I believe, no, this one is fine. This plate is only 7.7 ounces of protein. So when I calculate my macros for the day, if I'm eating all 3 of these meals, this might be, let's say it's only 180 grams of protein for the day, right? If I am trying to get in 200 grams of protein and I'm only at 180, I could simply just drink a protein shake and easily get in 30 grams of protein. So by me supplementing my diet by adding in this protein shake, I am able to reach my protein goal. This is how we want to use protein shakes. Not necessarily should we be replacing meals with protein shakes, but we want to use protein shakes as a tool to make sure that we get to our protein goal. What's another thing we can do to make sure we hit our protein goal? If we didn't want to do a shake, we could make a small serving of a lean protein source. So I might cook up a cup of egg whites, scramble it up and eat that. Or I might go make a small serving, like 5 ounces of some chicken breast and eat that with some broccoli, and I could do that. So those are your 2 options. Those are 2 things you can do if you feel like you're not getting in enough protein and you want to make sure that you get some more. You can do the protein shake, or you can cook up a small serving of some protein. Okay? And do you know why it's important to make sure you hit your protein goal? So that you can build muscle or keep your muscle as you are losing body fat. Okay? Hopefully this makes sense. Now let's see if we have any more questions. Can we have a treat once a week? For example, like a sweet chia latte? Yes, having a treat once a week is going to be a-okay. I've been doing your method and have lost 20 pounds in under 40 weeks. I love that. Congratulations. Alana? Was that name right? I think I said it right. I love that. For fat loss purposes, why do we have small servings of carbs? Just because when you're trying to lose body fat, you have to be in a calorie deficit. So it's 2 things. When you're trying to lose body fat, let me get my board. Hopefully this is going to be a good illustration. Can you guys see it? Okay. Okay, so when you want to lose body fat, you need to be in a calorie deficit. So CD means calorie deficit. This means you are eating less calories than your body burns. So do you know what happens if you're eating less calories than like I'm 200 pounds, right? You know what? I'm pretty active, so I burn a lot of calories in a day. Got a lot of muscle, so I burn a lot of calories. If I don't, let's say I don't eat, right? Or I just eat a little bit of food. My body is going to be starving. So my body is then going to take the fat that I currently have. It's going to take the fat and use the fat as energy. So that's the first thing. Now, if so not only is my body just going to take my fat, it's also going to take the muscle and break down the muscle. I don't want that to happen. So not only do I need to be in a calorie deficit, but I also need to eat enough protein. The reason why I want to eat enough protein is so that my body doesn't break down my muscle, because I'm eating my chicken and my egg whites. My body's going to get all the protein that it needs to keep the muscle and only use the body fat. And remember, we need to be in a calorie deficit. Now, what do carbs contain? Carbs contain calories. So we want to make sure that we're not eating too many calories. So we need the protein, all right? So you got to get a lot of protein in. What you don't need is you do not need a lot of carbs and you don't need a lot of fats. You need some, but you don't need a lot of it. So there are 3 places that calories come from. Calories come from carbs, protein, and can you guys see if I write fats? And fats. Okay? We need the protein. We need that. But we do not need a lot of carbs, so we can decrease the amount of carbs we're eating and we can decrease the amount of fats that we're eating in order to make sure we are in that calorie deficit. Now, to be clear, you don't want to completely eliminate the carbs. That is why we have a small serving of it, and we're not just doing 0 carbs. You could, for a short period of time, you could. There are plenty of people who do not eat any carbs and they're fine, but we just want to decrease the amount of it. Okay. The next thing is we have some fats. So chicken thighs has some fats in it. The eggs that I cook this food in has some fats in it. So we want to decrease it. We don't want to do a lot of it. We don't want to do zero fats. We just want to decrease the amount of carbs and the amount of fats. Okay, so that is why we want to lower certain macronutrients when we're trying to lose body fat and build muscle. Does that make sense? Me, I eat a lot of fats even though it's healthy. Okay, so it's as long as if you're getting to your goal, okay, shoot, go ahead. You know, your fats could be, that's what keto is. Keto is actually like almost zero carbs, very low protein, high fats. So as long as you're in that calorie deficit, whatever floats your boat, go ahead. I recommend that we keep the protein high though, so that we hold on to a lot of muscle and we moderately decrease the carbs and the fats. Now, out of the carbs and the fats, the first one I would get rid of is going to be carbs. Like I don't mind, like even if it's myself or if it's a client, I don't mind like dropping the carbs down super low. But we want to make sure the protein is there and the fats are there. Like this is important and this is important. So carbs build muscle, which burns fat. Carbs build muscle, which burns fat. I mean, that's not necessarily how that works. What burns fat is you being in a calorie deficit, okay? Now, when you say carbs build muscle, the way that carbs build, carbs don't build muscle in the same way like protein does. So let me explain the functions of this, because there's a lot of people who say things and it's like you don't necessarily know what they mean. When you eat your protein, I want you to look at protein as like the building blocks for the house, right? The protein is like the building blocks of your muscle. Like my muscle is made up of protein, right? This is what my muscle is made up of. Now, let's say the body is like the worker, right? Let's say the body is like the workers who actually go build the house. The carbs would be like the fuel for the workers to work. So when you go to the gym, right, and you're about to really push yourself, if you go to the gym and you are eating zero carbs, you will still be able to work out, but it's not going to be the best workout. But you can still work out and build muscle. Like you can still work out and build muscle without any carbs, like you could. But you'll have a better workout if you have some carbs in your diet before you go to the gym, even when it comes to your recovery. If after your workout, if you just eat protein and veggies, you will still recover and you'll build some muscle, but you'll build a little bit more muscle and your body will be more efficient if you have some carbs. They're just going to be the fuel to it. So like in the hierarchy of things, in the hierarchy of someone who's trying to lose body fat and build muscle, out of these nutrients, right? What's most important? Making sure you get your protein in. Okay. The fats is important so that you stay alive. Like, your, like your hormones, your brain, like, this is like for the really important stuff, like so that you stay alive. But in terms of just losing body fat and building muscle, the number one priority is your protein. Carbs will give you that extra edge a little bit, but you could still be excellent even if your carbs was like in the toilet, like you would be fine. I have clients that can rip 315 on the bench press, like eating zero carbs. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm super strong. Like even when I had no carbs in my diet, like I was really, really strong. So it's not that important, So hopefully that clarifies things. I eat a banana and a scoop of peanut butter before going to the gym because I go early in the morning, and that's fine too. That's fine too. Like you have a little banana, that'll give you some energy when you're going in there to do your weightlifting. Now, if you're going to the gym to do some cardio, you don't need to be like, if you're going to the gym to do cardio, you don't need carbs really in your system. That's just like a preference at that point. But if you're going to the gym and you are like, if you are strong and you are in there really pushing, that's when having carbs right before you go to the gym, that's when that even becomes a discussion. If you're still a beginner and you're still trying to work on form and you're still unsure, like you don't even worry about the carbs before you work out. You're not at that point yet. You're not even trained enough to really be able to push yourself that hard. That's splitting hairs at that level. But if you actually are like proficient in the gym and you know how to go in there and get a good workout, that's when that becomes a discussion. Should you work out at the gym or on a fast, or should you eat before you go? So, if you want to have a better workout, you should eat a meal before you go to the gym. Now, yeah, like if you want to have a better workout, and that's like I said, that's if you're someone who's a little bit more advanced. You know, like if you are like a beginner, don't worry about it. Just go to the gym like whenever. It's fine. Don't worry about it. If you are advanced, like meaning if you've been in the gym and you are strong, like and you know what you're doing, then that's when this becomes a discussion, making sure that we have some carbs before we go to the gym, etc. Now, for the people who are on the intermediate to advanced level, if you're going to the gym first thing in the morning, as soon as you wake up, this is what I like to do. I will have some carbs with my dinner. This way, if I go to the gym fasted in the morning, I still have some carbs in my system from the dinner before. Okay? If I'm going to the gym at, let's say, 3 o'clock, then I'll make sure that I'm going to have a little bit of carbs before I go to the gym. But once again, there have been plenty of times when for my breakfast, I would eat like 2 eggs and 8 ounces of steak and then, half an avocado, go to the gym and crush the workout, and perform at a super high level. So, I wouldn't overthink that. What is L-carnitine and taurine for? To be honest, I'm not even sure. I believe that L-carnitine, some people use that as like a fat burner, but I'm not really that sure. And I think taurine is like an ingredient in a lot of pre-workouts. But I'm down 10 pounds since we last talked. Woo, I love it, down 10 pounds. Type of fast you recommend? None, I don't really recommend fasting. I more so recommend that, I want to give you guys like my philosophy on fitness. Like I look at it like this. Tell me what's your goal. You might say, hey, my goal is, man, look, I want to have a transformation like this, like where I can go from 230 down to 165 pounds, like Chris was able to. This is somebody that, give a meal plan to, etc. He was able to lose 75 pounds in 7 months, right? So you might say that's your goal. And I'm going to look at it like, okay, so I'm not going to worry about fasting. Let's get you started on a meal plan that's going to have you in a calorie deficit and have you getting enough protein and let's get you a regimen to follow. So here, for your breakfast, you can have like some egg whites and some veggies, or you can have like 2 protein shakes. For your lunch, you can do some like a lean protein source with some veggies and do the same thing for your dinner. And you can have a small serving of carbs with your lunch and your dinner, right? So you have a meal plan. That's the most important thing. Then I'd say, okay, make sure you're getting in 30 to 60 minutes of walking a day or some type of cardio if you're inactive. And then finally, we need to be lifting weights 3 to 4 days a week. So I look at it like, what's your goal? And then let's focus on what are going to be the most important things for you to worry about. Like fasting, no, we don't really got to worry about that. Let's make sure you have a meal plan, the cardio plan, and the weightlifting routine. Now, once you have your plan, there might be certain questions that you have. Then we just fine tune things from there, right? So some clients of mine actually do intermittent fasting just because it helps them stick to their deficit. Like it helps them psychologically. So what do I need to eat for fiber? So I like to prioritize getting my fiber from the vegetables and fruit. So that's where I mainly get the fiber from. Other than that, you could do fiber supplements. So I feel hunger badly after the gym at nighttime. So that could just be, you just got to get used to sticking to a meal plan. All right, that's normal. That's normal. Try to fight it. Try to fight that urge. All right, now, do you have a meal plan? Matter of fact, let's do some calls. Everybody text the number that's on your screen if you would like to do some calls, okay? You text the number that's on the screen. And that's how we're going to do it. Also, if you want let's do the calls first. Okay, we'll do some calls and we'll continue to do some Q&A like this. This has been fun. All right. Let's see. Alice Stella, I'm not sure how to say your name, but we're doing some calls now. And we're going to try to run these calls a little quick because there's a lot of people on here. I want to make sure that I can get to as many people as possible. So can we have a fruit or protein shake or a protein bar if we're hungry? Yeah, like late at night, if you want to have a little, protein bar, a little protein shake or some fruit late at night, if you're really hungry, then go ahead. That'll help kind of curb, take the edge off of that hunger pain. But, this stuff contains calories. If you can force yourself to go to bed, that helps you. So that's been one of my, like, whenever I'm personally doing a cut, getting ready, like when I'm losing body fat, the number one thing that's hardest for me when I'm getting lean is like the late night hunger. So for me, it's just like, oh, just go to bed. Just go to bed. My wife will tell you, I'll tell her, babe, I am hungry right now. I cannot wait for tomorrow so that I can eat. So, sometimes you just got to fight that hunger. Drink flavored water, that helps. Yeah, so sometimes I'll drink a lot of fluids. I'll drink diet soda sometimes. I'll even eat fruit. But yeah, a lot of these tips, they help, but it don't really solve the issue. If I try to call you and your phone's on Do Not Disturb, come on, you gotta. Somebody from a 410 number just texted. You gotta follow the instructions that's on the screen, like literally right there. Follow the instructions. Okay, gotta text your age, height, weight, occupation, fitness goal, all that stuff to the number. And I'm picking some people and I'm calling right now. But just make sure that your phone is actually on. Don't have it on Do Not Disturb. And try to answer like soon as if you hear it ring once or twice, just answer the phone quickly. All right, this way we can get to everybody and it's like be able to move efficiently. Let's see. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing all right. All right, so right now we're 220 and we want to lose weight, right? Okay, so talk to me. What are we struggling with?
Just, I think, motivation and like consistency, I think.
Okay, so do you have a meal plan?
No, I don't.
All right, so that's the first thing. Like, have a meal plan. All right, so this isn't it. Like, so for me, this is how I think about it. Like, I already know what I'm going to eat, and I just eat the same meals every day. So I have a breakfast that I eat, a lunch that I eat, and a dinner that I eat. Because if you have a meal plan, you're going to be less likely to eat bad stuff because you know what you're supposed to be eating.
Yeah.
Okay, so like if you look at my screen, this is an example of a meal plan, right? So for my breakfast, I have like a cup of egg whites and 2 eggs. For my lunch and dinner, I have some meat, vegetables, and some sweet potato. So look at my screen.
Okay.
I don't know if do you see me live right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so look, I'm gonna try to give you an even easier meal plan. So for your breakfast, you can have 2 of these protein shakes, or one of them, 1 or 2 of these protein shakes. And then for your lunch and dinner, anytime you're gonna eat a plate, like you wanna make sure that you have some meat, some vegetables, and if you have carbs like rice, potato, pasta, or bread, you just have a small serving of the carbs on your plate. So now you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, that's number 1. The second thing is if you want a snack, go for fruit instead. So the chips, the cookies, all of that stuff, we want to cut that out. And if we can do that consistently, oh my goodness, you drop weight very quickly. Like when I did that, I lost 100 pounds in 6 months by following literally what I just told you. I'm gonna show the photo on the screen right now. Cool?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, do you have any questions about that?
Maybe if you can share like workout routines.
Okay, let's see. So workout routines. Do you walk?
Yes, I do.
Okay, like how often do you walk?
I walk to school and I walk when I go home. So like I'll say like 8,000 steps per day.
Okay, so that's good. That's not too bad. Now, do you do any sports? Do you
Huh?
do you do any sports?
No. Sometimes I do play volleyball. Sometimes I do go to the gym and do treadmill walking.
Okay.
It's just I'm not consistent with it.
Okay. So like a good rule that I like to follow myself is like every day for 60 minutes, I like to do something that's physically active. So if that's you playing volleyball, if that's you going to the gym to walk on the treadmill, like whatever, but like 60 minutes of some form of physical activity. Joining sports teams or joining like recreational sports is one of the easiest ways to be active because you have no choice and it's fun. Right. So that's one, right? Remember, write that down, like 60 minutes of physical activity every day. And if, let's say if it's a day where like you're tired, just go outside and walk, you know? And another thing is like, maybe you set an alarm early in the morning. You just make sure that every morning you start your day off with an early morning walk, or let's say it's 60 minutes and you jog for 5 minutes and then you walk the rest of it. And you just do it at your own pace, but try to make that like a consistent thing.
Gotcha.
So now we went over meal plan. We went over doing some cardio. Now, when it comes to workouts, like strength training to build muscle, you only got to do that like 3 days a week.
Okay.
So what I want you to do is like, when you get a chance, write down on your phone or wherever, write down like 4 exercises that you can do every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or any 3 days a week that you want to do these 4 exercises. And the 4 exercises could be squats, lunges, push-ups, and whatever else, like, or like sit-ups or something like that. So write down what you're going to do and how many of each one you're going to do. And then as time goes on, we could gradually make it a little bit more complicated.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, no problem. I wish you the best.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Okay, let's see. Somebody said, I am too tired to go outside. I don't even know what to say to that. Let's see. We have another one. Okay, I'm going to try to call the 410 number again. See if we get you.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hello. Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
So I had a couple questions because I am currently, eating in a calorie deficit, and I do go to the gym 5 days a week. And I'm trying to, hit get all my protein in every day. But sometimes, like, I notice the scale won't move. I don't know if that's from sodium, like from my seasoning, or like the sodium play a big part in, like.
Yeah, you'll hold on to some water, so you will be a little bit heavier in the scale. But that shouldn't be like even if your sodium is high, you shouldn't be at the same weight for like a month. Like the weight should still be going down somewhat.
Okay, so then maybe I need to put my food on a scale, I guess.
Oh,
I mean, I feel like I'm eating in small portions. Like my carbs that I eat, like I usually eat white rice, and I'll do like three quarters of a cup of that. I try to eyeball that, but maybe I'm eating a little more, maybe not in a calorie deficit.
So I would just take just one day where you track every single calorie, every little thing that you eat, and then just write down, and then you see how many calories you're eating, right? So that's the first thing. And then make sure that you know what your maintenance calories is. So did you figure all that stuff out?
Yes. I believe my maintenance is like 2,200.
Okay.
And my deficit, I should be eating around like 17 or 18. That's
Okay.
I guess moderate.
So look, hold on, before we move on from that, look, so if your maintenance is 22 and you're eating 1,700, right? If you were actually doing that, you would be losing 1 pound a week, which is not a crazy amount, right? But if you're not tracking,
that's what I'm losing. But I feel like I should be losing.
Oh no, you should be losing 1 pound a week if you're in a 500 calorie deficit.
Oh, okay. So I'm just tripping. Okay.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. So you're good. All right. Yeah. You're doing everything right. That's correct.
And I thank you for these videos because I just went into this blind, and then I see you and I'm like, oh my God, he's doing the same thing I'm doing. So it must be right. It must be working. I do the same thing. I drink a protein shake right in the morning before, for breakfast, eat 2 hard-boiled eggs, and then my lunch and dinner I have meal prepped with the same thing you have on the screen right now.
Oh, I love it.
Pretty much.
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. So look, you're doing good. You're doing all right.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, bye.
I don't know why, guys, but like my regular number is coming up. Let's see. We're going. Why is this happening? Yes, hello?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, so hold on, let me just read this real quick. We're 180, and what are we trying to do? What's the goal?
I'm trying to lose a little bit more weight because I feel like I was stuck at a stall for a little bit, but I'm starting to see the scale move finally.
Okay, so it's starting to go down.
Yeah, it's starting to go down because I was stuck at like 200 for a while, for like a couple months or so, and I'm like, what is going on? I'm doing everything right, but now it's finally dropping.
Okay, so we good or like, what's up?
I feel like it could drop a little faster, maybe, or maybe I'm just impatient.
How much weight have you been losing a week?
I would say like a couple pounds.
Oh, you good? Like a couple pounds?
Okay.
Be
Yeah,
specific.
Like a couple pounds.
Like 2?
Yeah, like 2 pounds.
Okay, so you good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, am I just overthinking it? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I did lose like 90 pounds since I started my journey last year.
Okay, so I mean that's really good. Just be consistent. Just give it time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me start worrying then.
Don't just stay consistent and don't. I've seen people self-sabotage. Like they lose 100 pounds. Like literally, I was just talking to somebody like this the other day. They lose 100 pounds and they're like, "Oh, it's not working." I'm like, "You lost 100 pounds. What are you talking about?" So you're good. Just stay consistent. All right, you got this.
All right, thank you. I appreciate you.
All right. Let's see. I'm gonna try someone else. Please, how many calories?
Record your name and reason for calling. I'll see if this person is available.
Will Smith, movie role. Please, how many calories do I need to eat if I want to lose 70 pounds in 2 months? I weigh, whoa. What? You want to lose 70 pounds in 2 months?
Hello?
Yeah. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So what's going on? What's our goal?
Oh my goodness. I'm live. I made it.
Yes, you did.
So, okay, let's see. Where do I start? You said...
Okay, so right now we're 200. What's the
Yeah.
goal weight? That's the first question.
The goal weight is 150.
Okay, so we want to lose 50 pounds. So are we what are we struggling with?
I would say food.
Okay. So
I feel like I know what to eat. And I did have weight loss from December 13th, 7 weeks out. I lost, maybe it was 5 weeks. I lost 7 pounds. But the way I have it calculated, if I did it correctly, it was supposed to be 1.5 pounds a week. And I was pretty much on that. I think I lost 7 pounds in 5 weeks. I wasn't drinking alcohol. I was eating 1,800 calories, 10,000 steps a day. And the workouts were supposed to be 3 days a week. It wasn't consistent then. Now I'm lifting 3 days a week for sure, at least.
okay, love it.
I don't know. I think it's like the emotional eating, or maybe it's around my period. I've since tried to dial in, but I think for me, because I see results so slowly, it's hard for me to stick to it.
Okay, so let's see. I'm going to get real clear on this. So, do you have a meal plan right now that you're following?
No, but I don't.
Okay.
I just I follow you though, so I know I have a couple ounces of some meat, and I have a food scale.
Cool. So hold on. So look, being vague, when you're making progress, you can the more progress you're making, the more vague you can be. If you killing it, it's okay, make sure you got some protein, some veggies, carbs in moderation, all right. But if you're struggling with mentally committing and you're struggling with that, we want to get a little bit more specific. So when I say a meal plan and I say, what are you going to eat tomorrow? Write it down on a sheet of paper. Breakfast, this is what it is. Lunch, this is what it is. Dinner, this is what it is. Then we want to meal prep the food. And then tomorrow, at the end of the day, I'm going to say, hey, did you eat breakfast? Did you eat lunch? Did you eat dinner? If not, where did you mess up? You might say, man, instead of the chicken thighs, I had a pizza pie. It's okay, so we're going to make sure that we don't do that tomorrow. What can we do to make it so that we don't eat pizza and we stick to our meal plan? You might say, hey, the dinner was a little bit too strict. So it's okay, cool.
I probably need to meal prep it out. I'll meal prep it and leave it in bulk. So I have everything cooked, but I'm weighing every single time. So if I feel more hungry or if I'm stressed or whatever, I'll just put more on the plate. And maybe I need to have them already singularly, and I just warm it up and just eat it and don't have to reweigh for every single meal.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, that'll help. Now, look, I hold on one second. Let me redo this. 1 second. So, look, I don't think that what is stopping you right now is really, okay, instead of it being 6 ounces of chicken thighs, you're doing 8. I don't think that's the issue. The issue, and I could be judging you, I don't know, like the issue sounds like it could be like, all right, we probably had like some cookies like last night. But that would be my issue. You know, I don't think that you having a little bit more, like 3 cups of veggies instead of 2 is what's going to mess you up.
I don't know. I think it's, maybe when I plateaued, like February, that was when I didn't drink since Thanksgiving all the way up until February. February was crazy. I went out. I expected to gain some weight, right? March, I'm back on track. I feel like I'm doing everything right. And at the end of the month, I weigh and I'm back up. I started at 208. I'm at 207. So since then, I've been kind of crash dieting, a little starvation. But I'm back down. But it's just like, I don't know what's sustainable.
Okay. So, what are you doing today? Like, so what are you going to eat today? Let's walk through today's full day of eating.
So I don't know. Maybe like I'm at a point of, I'm sorry, I'm crying. I'm at a point
you're
of
good.
like jumping around. So the way I've been kind of maintaining for the past couple of weeks at 200, I've been doing like 1 meal a day. So far I haven't eaten. I'm probably going to eat around 5 o'clock, and I'm going to eat some steak and some sweet potatoes and some vegetables.
Okay. So what I said first, I think you should do. I think what I said, the first thing I say is what you should do. Like, actually write down, be very specific. This is going to be my breakfast. This is going to be my lunch. And this is going to be my dinner. And then you take it a step further and you actually meal prep out the meals. This is literally what I do. Like, I meal prep my food in advance and I have it in the fridge. So when it's time to eat, I eat what I meal prepped. So at the beginning of every day, you should already have your food prepared and you know exactly what you're going to be eating. Okay. That'd be like, I think that should be like the next step. And then once you're doing that, then we see, okay, where are we messing up? And once you have your meal plan already prepared and you're sticking to it consistently, if you say, hey, I haven't lost weight this week, then it's like, okay, now we know. Let's reduce the serving sizes a little bit. Or I might say, let's add in some cardio. But we need to have a baseline. And the best way to get that baseline is to like know exactly what we're eating. So it can be easy for me to calculate the calories. Or for you to calculate the calories. You say, this is my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I know this is 1,700 calories. I know that's what it is.
Okay. Yep. Okay. And is 1,800 calories? Well, I feel like at this point now, I'm months and months have passed, and now I'm trying to like reduce my calories more. Okay.
So calculate what your calorie maintenance is. Do you know what that is?
I think when I calculated it, I think it was like 22 or 23, but it's based on my activity level. So maybe I don't know. I go moderate or sedentary.
Okay. That's what I do too. I always underestimate a little bit.
Right.
So that's fine. So once you have that maintenance, then it's easy for you to calculate what your deficit should be.
Yeah. Okay.
And look, you don't gotta rush it. You can lose a pound a week. Just be consistent with that.
I guess so.
Hey,
I don't know. I'm just like, I'm getting desperate.
No, I hear you. Say it again.
I said it. I'm trying to stay off Ozempic.
I got you. Look, it can be stressful, but like do those steps, right? Because I know that like that's what we can control. We can control like writing out the meal plan, preparing the food in advance, and just like sticking to like what we prepared. We just want to make it as easy as possible for us to do the right things.
Okay. And how often should I be weighing myself? Like, I feel like I was weighing myself a month at a time, and maybe that was too far out.
Let me ask you this. If you were really trying to get on track with your spending and and budgeting and your finances, how often would you check your bank balance?
Probably like every week.
Okay. So yeah, check your weight every week. Like personally, I weigh myself every morning.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, some people that's listening to me, they probably like, oh, that's going to lead to like depression. It's like, no, just don't take it emotional. Just look at it as data, just like you're checking your bank account balance. It's like, okay, I ate this yesterday. All right, I'm up a pound, or I'm down a pound. It might be sodium, whatever, but you just know. And then after a week, we can say, okay, we down half a pound. Wow, we making good progress. Or I'm up 2 pounds. Where did I mess up? So you can just have more control over what you got going on.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, that makes sense. I'll just separate the meals out for sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. What I want you to do right now is write out what you want to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and only eat that. Like, prepare it in advance, and that is your task for the next 7 days. And if the next time we talk, you should be like, yo, I'm down a pound, that's the goal. So I want to talk to you next week.
Okay.
All right.
Can you tell me your name? I follow you, and I don't even know your name.
Oh, Will Smith.
Okay, it says Will Smith when you call me, and I'm like, is this a scam? Okay.
No, I'm playing. My name is not Will Smith. My name is Sam. Hello?
Yep, thought I lost you. Thank you so much, Will.
No, my name is Sam. I was just teasing you.
Oh,
but
okay, Sam. No, thank you so
All
much.
right.
My name is Asia.
Okay, gotcha. Take care.
Thanks, bye.
All right. She just called me Sam, S-A-M. All right, let's keep going. Should we do some more calls, or let's hit the comment section and see what else we got? Thanks, Will. That's funny. Stick to 3 meals a day, nothing else. It will work, and the weight will drop. Chicken and veggie is key. Look, if I wanted to lose weight quickly as possible, this is gonna sound bad, but if I wanted to go on a crash diet and just get super, super lean, like I did here when I dropped 100 pounds in 6 months, I wouldn't even eat this. I would just eat chicken and vegetables for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Or maybe for breakfast, I'd have a protein shake. That's what I would do. I'd just go on a crazy crash diet and lose the weight. That's gonna be the best advice. It might sound a little crazy, but that's personally what I would do if I want to lose weight quick as possible. This right here is gonna be way more balanced though. Like if I wanted to lose body fat sustainably and have a lot of muscle, this is how I would eat. So I have a cup of egg whites, 4 ounces of ground beef, 2 eggs for breakfast. We have 5 ounces of some chicken thighs, 3 ounces of some ground beef, half a sweet potato and some mixed veggies. We have chicken thighs, mixed veggies, and half a sweet potato for dinner. This would be my meal plan if I wanted something that's more like realistic and sustainable, and if I wanted to hold on to more muscle. How often I have to eat sweet potato? You don't have to eat sweet potato. Like, I don't even understand how to answer that question. Like, why do you ask that? Yeah, you don't have to eat sweet potato. To lose body fat, you just have to be in a calorie deficit, which means that you have to eat less calories than your body burns. So unfortunately, I don't even know how to answer that question because you don't have to eat sweet potato. Because it's sweet. What about for muscle gain? So when you say that, do you mean like if you want to build muscle, you just have to eat enough protein, make sure you get your sleep, and then you lift weights. That's it. And you can eat these meals and build muscle. So yeah, same thing. Sweet potato is a healthy carb, less calories if you want a carb. Yes, that's a really good point, actually. Sweet potato and potatoes would be better than rice if you want a carb. And that's the reason why I'm doing sweet potato, because let's say I was to eat the same amount of rice. The same amount of rice as this sweet potato, weight-wise. Let's say this is 200 grams of sweet potato. If I had 200 grams of sweet potato and 200 grams of rice, the rice would be almost twice as many calories. But you can't compare men and women. Unfortunately, men lose weight faster. Yeah, for the most part, men do lose weight a little bit faster than women. And that's because a few reasons. The biggest reason is that men typically are heavier and have more muscle, which means that their calorie maintenance is going to be higher. Like most men that I speak to, their calorie maintenance is like 2,700 or 3,000. Most women I speak to, their calorie maintenance is around 2,000. So men just burn more calories in general. So that's why they'll lose weight quicker. Because if you have a man eating 1,000 calories a day and a woman eating 1,000 calories a day, that man should be losing approximately like 4 pounds a week, where the woman would be losing 2 pounds a week. If the man's calorie maintenance is 3,000 and the woman's calorie maintenance is 2,000. So that's one reason. The other reason is that a lot of guys will typically be a little bit more active than women would be. So those are two of the biggest reasons right there. But I will say, like, I do have, look, to be, and you know, this is gonna sound bad, but the female clients I have do an amazing job. Like, she lost 30 pounds in 3 months, and she lost 30 pounds in 3 months. Like, yeah, sometimes my lady clients do better than the guys. She dropped 75 pounds in 7 months. Let me see. So, you know, it really comes down to, like, do you follow the plan? So, should we do a carb for dinner too, or is it better to stay away from the carbs for dinner? Should you do a carb for dinner, or is it better to stay away? No, it doesn't matter, to be honest. It doesn't really matter. If you want to lose weight quicker, then we would reduce the calories, and we could reduce the calories by taking away the carbs. So, yeah, like, if you wanted to lose weight moderately quickly, you could have a little bit of carbs with your lunch and dinner. Let's say if you only had carbs for lunch, you'd lose weight a little bit faster. If you took away the carbs for lunch, you'd lose weight even faster. So it really comes down to the amount of calories you're eating in total. 12-piece grilled nuggets and medium mac and cheese from Chick-fil-A, a good meal? Yeah, that's a good meal. Thank you for sharing. You're welcome. I'm 16 years old. I eat properly and train properly too. How do I gain weight? Eat more. Eat more. And what do you mean by gain weight? You mean like just gain overall weight or gain muscle? If you want to build muscle, your goal should be trying to get stronger. That's a good measure. Karan is 6'1", 305. Okay, what's your question? Oh, this is a good one. I was 334 3 weeks ago, and then I talked to you, and now everything has changed. I'm 316 now. Woo! That is incredible. I weigh 100 kg. If I eat 1,300 calories per day, is that too aggressive to stick to it? You probably can't stick to that forever, but figure out what your maintenance is. Because I don't know what your maintenance is at all. So I really don't know. But for most men, eating 1,300 calories is very aggressive. You can't do that forever. But if you went to do that for, like, let's say 3-4 months, cool. In between, I would take a little diet break. All right, I think that's good. I think that's it for today. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. I'll try to speed through some answers real quick. But other than that, that is it. Okay. Got my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's time for me to eat. I still haven't even eaten my first meal of today yet, and it's 4 o'clock. So, how do you find your maintenance calories? This is how you find your maintenance calories. Step number 1, go to Google and type in calorie calculator. Step number 2, select the one from calculator.net. Put in your age, height, gender, activity level, and weight. And then it's going to tell you what your maintenance calories is. Can you go over the food again, please? So what do you want me to do? Like, go over the food that I have laid out here? Is that what you want? Chat GPT. Yeah, you could ask Chat GPT as well too. It's going to ask you a few basic questions, and it can help you find your calorie maintenance. So Chat GPT is also, you could use that to find your calorie maintenance. Yes, please. Okay, so these are the meals that I have laid out here. This is 1 cup of egg whites with 2 eggs and 4 ounces of 96% lean ground beef. This is 5 ounces of chicken thighs, 3 ounces of 96% lean ground beef, some mixed veggies, and half a sweet potato. This is 7 ounces of chicken thighs, a side of mixed veggies, and half a sweet potato. And this is an example of a full day of eating where the calories are going to be lower and the protein is going to be higher. So if you want to lose body fat and build muscle, this is an example of a meal plan that you could follow. Now, if I needed more protein in, then I would add in this little Premier protein shake just to give it an extra little boost. Listening to these dudes be rough. They just be saying, I mean, I'm just going to block you. Get out of here. I messaged the number coach. Okay, Ash, I got you, but I am done taking calls today. We've been live for like 2 hours, so it's time for me to eat. So I got him. Oh, thank you, Spice Latina. Appreciate him. Appreciate you. Do you have a video we can see for reference of this meal for a day? What do you mean? I'll clarify what you're asking. You're a good man. Oh, I appreciate that. Let's see. I'm going to see if I could bring you up and then get some clarification on what you're asking. Where do you find the 96% lean ground beef? Because all I find is 93% lean. That's fine too. 93% lean is cool too. If you don't see this at your grocery store, just stick with 93% lean. Do you have to eat breakfast at a certain time? No, you do not need to eat your breakfast at a certain time. The only thing that matters is that you are eating your meals at like whatever time in the day that you want to eat them. Because the only thing that matters is in total, are you eating the correct amount of calories and the correct amount of protein? So look at hopefully you can see my whiteboard right here. Okay. So when we are trying to lose body fat and build muscle, the only thing that matters is, are we eating the right amount of calories and the right amount of protein? So let's say that for us to lose body fat and build muscle, we want to eat 1,500 calories and 150 grams of protein. Let's say that's what the goal is. And we're going to eat, let's say 3 meals. And let's say each meal is 500 calories and 50 grams of protein. So each meal is this. Let's say this is breakfast, and then this is lunch. Another 500 calorie and 50 grams of protein. And then the dinner is 500 calories and 50 grams of protein. So we have our breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Does it matter what time we eat the meals? No, because if we eat all 3 of these meals, we're eating the correct amount of calories, which is 1,500, and we're eating the correct amount of protein. So that's it. You could eat this meal at 12 o'clock or 8 o'clock. It doesn't matter. You could eat this meal at 1 o'clock or 5 o'clock. It doesn't matter. You could eat this meal at 8 p.m. or you could eat it at 1 a.m. It doesn't matter. Okay? Just eat the correct amount of calories and protein. That's why it doesn't matter what time you eat your meals. Does that make sense? What about fruits? I love peaches, mangoes, and oranges, but they are high in carbs. What to do? So I'm not really too worried about that because let's say you want a snack, right? If you wanted a snack because like you eat your meals and you have a little sweet tooth, snack on fruit. This is fine, right? Like all 4 of these oranges is probably about 150 calories. I'd rather you eat 150 extra calories, right, than you get Pop-Tarts, which is 400 calories, right? So I'd rather you do that. So you can snack on fruit. You don't have to overthink the calories that's in fruit too much. And it's better than you eating Pop-Tarts because if you eat Pop-Tarts, you're going to want to eat more Pop-Tarts. What about roasted peanuts? If you're going to be doing things like peanuts, then you must get a food scale because peanuts are very high in calories. So I wish I had some peanuts so that I could show you a visual of it. I wish I had a food scale. Okay, let's see. You know what? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm going to use this oil as a good, I don't even want to waste that oil. My wife is going to be upset if I do that. So let's see. How do I want to do this? Oh, perfect. I know how I can explain it. Okay. I don't even have beans. So look, this is why it's important to not eat too many nuts. Because look, let's say, oh, nice. Let's say this is 100 calories worth of nuts, and this is 300 calories worth of nuts. The difference, it's not even a big difference. This is what I mean with like nuts are dense in calories, meaning a little bit of extra nuts results in 200 extra calories. So it's not even worth it. If you are going to be eating nuts, you got to make sure that you actually like measure it out or you weigh it out using a food scale. Okay? Now, fruit, on the other hand, is a good choice because fruit is not calorie dense. Like this is 30 calories and it takes up a lot of space in your stomach. This is 60 calories. This is 90 calories. This is 120 calories. So if you want a snack and you want something that's going to be a little bit more filling, fruit is going to be the way to go. And if you are going to do nuts, remember that you just have to do a small serving of the nuts. Okay? Yeah, I think that was good, right? You know, using that was good. That was smart. I got to tap myself on the back for that one. Thoughts on intermittent fasting? So let's go back to this example right here. Now, let's look up here. So when you're trying to, how do I want to start this off? So this is why I don't really care for doing intermittent fasting. So look, if you're trying to lose body fat and build muscle, the two numbers that's important is eating the right amount of calories and the right amount of protein. So let's say your goal is 1,500 calories and 150 grams of protein. And you're going to eat 3 meals with 500 calories and 50 grams of protein for each meal. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So if you eat all 3 of these meals, it equals 1,500 calories and 150 grams of protein. As long as you eat these meals within a 24-hour period, you are going to be hitting the right amount of calories and the right amount of protein, which means you're going to lose body fat and build muscle. Now, do you have to eat these meals within a 8-hour window? Like with intermittent fasting, you'd have to eat between 12 and 8. Could you do that? Yes. But what if you decide to eat this meal at 9 a.m. and then you eat your last meal at midnight? It doesn't matter because you're eating the same amount of calories and the same amount of protein. That's why you don't really have to focus on doing the intermittent fasting. Now, intermittent fasting can be helpful if mentally it stops you from overeating and snacking on junk that you're not supposed to be snacking on. So it could be beneficial, okay, like from a mental standpoint, but your priority should be making sure you're eating the right amount of calories and protein, which means your priority should be, if you have a meal plan, that you're eating the first meal that's in your meal plan, the second meal that's in your meal plan, and the third meal that's in your meal plan. Because if you eat what's in your meal plan, by default, you're going to be eating the right amount of calories and the right amount of protein. The issue comes into play when people snack outside of eating what's in their meal plan. So if intermittent fasting helps you to not snack, go for it. If it doesn't, then you don't really have to worry about it. Okay? Do you eat your first meal before or after working out? Typically, I eat my first meal before I lift weights, but sometimes I'll eat my first meal after I lift weights. It doesn't really bother me either way. Not sure if you answered this, but is it better to weigh your protein before or after you cook it? I like to weigh my protein after I cook it because I will typically cook all of my protein in bulk. And because I cook it in bulk, then I can easily weigh it out after it's cooked and then make my plates of food. If you weigh your protein before you cook it, you don't even know what you're weighing out. Right? Like you won't be able to tell the macros for each individual meal. I hate working out. Why do you hate working out? How do you figure out the calories in sweet potato? So step number 1, you actually weigh it out. So you have a food scale, you weigh out the sweet potato, and then you log it into MyFitnessPal. So this is 7 ounces of sweet potato. You go into MyFitnessPal and you type in cooked sweet potato, and then it's going to tell you how many calories is in 7 ounces of sweet potato. That's how you figure out how many calories is in any type of food. Is organic peanut butter okay to eat? With peanut butter, that's a fat source. So remember, with fat sources, we must use portion control and accuracy. So look. This much peanut butter, for example, is 100 calories. This much peanut butter is 300 calories, and it's not a big difference. So if you are just eating peanut butter without actually like measuring it out, you could accidentally eat way too many calories. And I actually have some peanut butter here so I can show you this in real life. I have almond butter. It's gonna make a mess. It's gonna make a mess. Oh man, my wife is gonna be mad that I'm using all these dishes. How'd you hear me? How'd you hear me? All right, so look. When it comes to peanut butter, right? Let me show you this. We want to use measuring spoons so we're accurate. Oh man, this is like rough. You know what? Forget the measuring spoon. We're going to use a food scale instead because that is not even coming out cleanly. Okay, so with peanut butter, 1 serving of peanut butter is 31 grams, which is 1 tablespoon. Okay, you know what? Actually, I want to show 31 grams is 2 tablespoons. So that means, say like 15 grams is 1 tablespoon. Okay, so look, this is 100 calories worth of peanut butter right here. Now I'm going to show you what 300 calories of peanut butter looks like. And this is why it's important to actually weigh it out. So that's 15 grams. Now we need to show 45 grams. Well, this is crazy. So, make sure you guys can see it. So this is 100 calories worth of peanut butter, and this is 300 calories worth of peanut butter. So if you are going to be eating peanut butter, you have to actually like measure it out because you could easily eat way too many calories. And be honest, how many people here make peanut butter sandwiches? How many people are going to use this little bit amount of peanut butter? Or are you more likely to use this much peanut butter when you make your peanut butter sandwich? So, or when you make your protein shakes. Like, be honest. When you add in protein, or when you're adding peanut butter to your protein shake, are you going to add this much peanut butter to it? Or are you going to add this much peanut butter to your protein shake? Be honest. And if you add this much, you just added 300 calories to your protein shake. And guess what? It doesn't even make the shake more filling. This is why peanut butter is like one of those foods that I stay away from if my goal is to lose weight. If I am going to eat it, we are using portion control. But it's just so not filling. It's not a good food for losing body fat. This is a good food if you're trying to intentionally gain weight, though. Yeah. Well, yes. Someone asked if I would recommend PB2. Yes. Instead of using peanut butter, I definitely recommend using powdered peanut butter. Okay? Because powdered peanut butter, let's say if you make this much PB2, which is powdered peanut butter, you mix it in with some water, this much of that would be like 40 calories. So definitely, if you like peanut butter and you want to add it to your shake, buy some PB2 or any type of peanut butter powder. If you don't like peanut butter, you don't even got to worry about this then. Oh my goodness, we've been live for 2 hours. Whew. Okay. This is crazy. But we're going, I'm having fun, so we're going to keep it going. Why can't every black man be like you? What the heck? What kind of comment is that? Yo. Man, you're lucky on YouTube, but I don't know how to block people on YouTube. What are you even saying? Oh man, do you sometimes on your cheat day eat your food culture? What? Yo, man, is there such thing as too much protein in one meal? Not necessarily. It is going to be ideal if you're trying to stimulate the most muscle growth as possible. It's ideal to split the protein up. Like I wouldn't eat 200 grams of protein in one sitting because your body, when it comes to muscle building, your body's not going to use all of that protein in one sitting, right? It's going to be more ideal if you split it up over the course of 3 meals. So if you do 60, 60, and 60, or 70, 70, and 70, then your body's going to use that protein a little bit better. But if you're talking about like, can you eat 50 grams of protein per meal? Easily, yes. If you are a bigger person like me, like 200 pounds, right? I can easily consume 70 grams of protein per meal and be fine. How about avocados? Avocados is a fat source. So if you want to add some healthy fats to your diet, then yes, you can add avocado. What about salt intake? What do you mean? Can I message you privately to help me with my training? You can text the number that's on the screen and you can schedule a consultation call with my team. Eggs, avocado, and brown bread for breakfast. Is that okay? For breakfast, I would not just do like regular eggs, avocado, and bread. I would have like a cup of, this is how I would do it. I'd have a cup of egg whites with 2 regular eggs, and then I would add in half the avocado and 2 slices of bread. That's how I would have it. I wouldn't just be regular egg because that's not enough protein. Can you explain seasonings, oils, and fats in moderation? So with the seasonings are like 0 calories. So you can add as much seasoning to your food as you want, and it's not going to affect your fat loss. It will, however, kill you if you have like high blood pressure. Like if you have to worry about high blood pressure, too much seasoning will kill you. So, you need moderation if you're worried about like your blood pressure. Too much sodium will kill you. But if you don't have to worry about that, then season your food up as much as you want. When it comes to oils, though, we want to use oil in moderation. So look here. This right here is a measuring spoon. If I'm going to be using cooking oil with my food, this is olive oil, I'm going to accurately measure out 1 tablespoon of the cooking oil. I'm not just going to pour it into the pan because you could accidentally add way too much oil. Okay. Now, this is going to be good. I'm going to show you guys the, no, not going to waste the oil. I'm not going to do that. Advice on going down from 189 down to 130. So you want to lose 60 pounds. So advice on losing 60 pounds. So if you wanted to lose 60 pounds over the next 6 months, the number one thing you need is a meal plan. So this is an example of a meal plan that you could follow if you wanted to lose 60 pounds in the next 6 months. So for your breakfast, you can do a cup of egg whites with 2 regular eggs. For your lunch, you can do 5 to 8 ounces of any type of meat with a side of veggies and some carbs in moderation, like half a sweet potato. For your dinner, you could have some like 5 to 8, let's do that again. For your dinner, you could have 5 to 8 ounces of some meat, some veggies, and some carbs in moderation, like half a sweet potato. And as a snack, you can snack on whatever your favorite fruit is. And if we could stick to this meal plan, also do our 30 to 60 minutes of cardio every day and do our weightlifting 3 to 4 days a week, you'd be able to lose 60 pounds approximately within the next 6 months and be able to build some muscle. Okay? You say 3 meals and a fruit or a protein bar for a snack if needed. Yes, exactly. How do you feel about fiber? I hate fiber. Fiber is, okay, you could tell I've been on here for a little while because I had the urge to start acting silly. So it's about time for me to wrap this up. But yes, fiber is good. You want to get your fiber in. I add in the vegetables to make sure I get some fiber in. I eat my fruit to make sure I get some fiber in. Yeah. So yeah, I get my fiber from fruits and veggies. Can you lose 10 pounds in a month? Yes, you can. So in reality, if I wanted to lose 10 pounds in a month and I didn't know what to eat, this is literally the meal plan that I would follow. For breakfast, I'd have a cup of egg whites, 2 regular eggs, and I'd add in a little bit of protein, like 4 ounces of some ground beef. For my lunch and my dinner, I would eat 5 to 8 ounces of a meat, some veggies, and a little bit of carbs. And as a snack, I would only snack on some fruit. But I would also make sure that I was doing 60 minutes of cardio every day. And that's what I would do in reality if I wanted to lose 10 pounds in a month. Really, 3 meals a day? It doesn't. So yes, I would do 3 meals a day. But you don't have to do 3 meals a day, because remember, if you're trying to lose body fat and build muscle, the only 2 things we need is to eat the right amount of calories and the right amount of protein. We got to be in a calorie deficit and eat enough protein so that we keep our muscle while we're losing body fat. Now, you can do that in 3 meals. Like here, each meal is 500 calories and 50 grams of protein. So that's 3 meals. Or you can split it up into 2 meals. Like if each meal was 750 calories and 75 grams of protein, you would still hit the same number. Or you could just do one big meal that could be 1,500 calories and 150 grams of protein. Doesn't really matter. You don't got to overthink it. Okay. Is that possible for a 5'5" girl? Yes, it is. 100%. Oh, I missed the live. Yeah, I mean, I think it's about time for me to log off. This is like the longest live that I've done ever, probably. We've been live for 2 hours and 15 minutes, which is crazy. So I had a lot of fun, guys, but yeah, we're going to start wrapping this up. Now, everyone, I have a one-on-one fitness coaching program where me and my team, we work with you directly. So this is what you get. You get the meal plan. So this is your meal plan. You get the cardio plan. You get the workout plan. So you know exactly what you need to do. You get your instructions. Not only do you get your instructions, right? So let's say you want to lose 10 pounds a month, whatever. We give you the plan to follow. Not only do you get the instructions, but you get real-time accountability every single day. So every time you eat your meal, you got to take a photo of it and upload it so we can hold you accountable. Every time you do your cardio, you got to upload it so we hold you. And this is every day. So it's like you are forced to make progress. The next thing is there is a weekly one-on-one call. So face-to-face on Zoom, like say, hey, what are we struggling with? And it's just giving you that personal attention that you need to make sure you feel supported and you know exactly what you got to do. Because fitness, it can be a little confusing sometimes. So that's what we do to make it as easy as possible. If you would like information on that, you can book a free consultation call where we go over your goals and everything just by texting the number that is on the screen. Okay. And then other than that, you know, like I do these lives like every day. So if you want a reminder every time I'm going live, like text it to you or email it to you, just text the number that you see on the screen and we'll make sure that you get these reminders every time we go live so that you can get the assistance that you need to help you out. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed today. I did. It was fun. I cooked a full blown meal plan. You know, I made a whole meal plan for myself. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And this food it's been out for like an hour and a half, but I'm still going to eat it. You know, I'd be lying if I tried to act bougie. Somebody one day asked me, man, you eat the prop food? I was like, I definitely do. 100%. Oh, man. Okay. See you guys later. Thank you, Spicy Latina. It is always a pleasure, and I appreciate you moderating for me. You've been with me for like hours today, so thank you. God bless you. I feel optimistic after my cry. You got this. You got this. And let me see. Text me now so that I know what your number is, okay? Let's see. And that is it. Oh. You are very welcome. I'm going to make this one live on Instagram.